Hello glue sniffers, and welcome to the Diorama Devil 1 year special celebration video. As you voted on YouTube, I will do a workshop tour and some question and answer video. The questions are coming from you, my YouTube and Patreon followers, and also from some fellow YouTubers who sent me some video. Are we ready? Let's dig into it. Let's start the tour. My workshop is located in our house, which means that I can go to work barefoot. Happy me. Obviously, there is a door. And more important, there is a key. The key is there for two reasons. Here is reason number 1. And here is reason number 2. Combined together, they form a small but very effective demolition team. So, better to be safe than sorry. And here we have Olga, our dog. Part-time guard dog, part-time member of the demolition team. Ma kadu ja pridem pas, kadu ja. You can see the door frame, and I'm basically standing at the end of the workshop. So, this is the only space that was left for me in the entire house. Let's have some questions now.
Hi Diorama Devil, my name is Bine, I'm from Back to Basic project. I have a question for you. What was your first plastic model you built it, and how old were you? Keep going, keep making great video tutorial for community. Bye, see ya.
Hi Bine, and thank you. Quite frankly, I don't remember. The two oldest models still alive are this 190 Focke-Wulf and this F104 Starfighter, which I built some 20 plus years ago. What I can remember are my first two, let's say, dioramas. Here they are. I built those about 7 years ago. Now, some questions from the followers. Tim Wilkinson and Jean-Patrick. What keeps you motivated while modeling? Well, your feedback, mostly. And I'm not only talking about likes. One father once wrote to me on YouTube in a comment that my channel helped him and his son to try a diorama for the first time, because they were only making vehicles until now. This is pretty powerful stuff. And I also like to see people doing stuff like they learned on my channel. This is pretty great too. Let's now take a look at my secondary workbench. Under the table there is my Seal Air airbrushing compressor. This is probably the most expensive piece in the entire workshop. Silent, effective and bulletproof. On the table is my DIY airbrush cabin. It has its own light, 4 220 volt ventilators, and the exit pipe is connected to the ventilation line of the house. I also have an ultrasonic bath for airbrush cleaning. And there are some mats for rough jobs. Before we proceed to the drawers, let's do some questions again.
Hello, my friend, and congratulations on achieving your first year, 1 year anniversary on your channel. That is fantastic. That's amazing. I just kind of want to wonder from your perspective, how do you choose your subjects? How do you keep your motivation? Keeping to deadlines, I find that all very challenging, and I'm just curious on how you meet those hurdles, those challenges. I'll leave you with that. Those are more than one question. Again, congratulations, happy anniversary, and we'll talk soon. Take care, my friend.
Hello Rick, and thank you for your intervention. Well, the process of choosing my subject is usually a combination of what I like to do and also what people would like to see. And I have this fortune that those two things usually meet somehow. Motivation? Tough one. You know, when a bad day comes, I have a list of the most beautiful comments that people wrote me on YouTube, and I usually go and read them. It's a pretty powerful tool. You should try it. It's working, trust me. Deadlines. Until now I was struggling to put out a video per week and I was not even successful in this. So from now on I think that I will drop those deadlines and I will put out a video whenever it's ready and interesting for people to watch. We will see how it goes. And now a question from Chris Dowell from YouTube. What's the average source of your ideas? Books you read, movies you watched, pictures you saw? Well, Chris, nothing of those three, really. I usually take the inspiration from other modelers' work. I see a diorama or a vignette and I say, nice, let's try something similar but in a different way. It's probably not the best approach, but it is how it is. Now some drawers time. Some Tamiya masking tape and masking putty mixed with some pastels and weathering tools. Airbrush compartment with some cleaning tools. Some new brushes stash, good to have them at hand. Oils drawer with some artist oil paints and some oil brushers from Ammo. And in the end, some sponges and some buttons to put under the bases of the dioramas. Under the table we have this big DIY drawer where I keep all my colors, primers and varnishes. I can always see what I have and there is no dust on the bottles. And now for the main drawers. Those elements are IKEA Kallax units. You can leave the hole empty and there are my books. You can put a door on to make a closet or you can fill it with drawers. Cool units for a small amount of money. Here I keep the painting gear. Stiff and wet palettes, water jars, mixing cups and also the toolbox for decals. Then we have figure painting handles, some pieces of styrofoam to put toothpicks in and an airbrush hose. Here there is the enamel effect / medium drawer. Acetone, isopropanol, water, white spirit, brand thinners, you name it, we have it. Bottom one, there is my vintage hairdryer and my DIY paint shaker. Plaster, glaze, stucco, texture rollers and some containers. And the last one, I don't even know how to call this, and under it there is my turntable.
Hello Boston, congratulations to your first year of Diorama Devil. My question to you is, you are trying to do scale modeling for a living. Was it a tough decision for you and your family to try it? And are you happy how it's going so far? Would you do it again? I wish you all the best for your second year, many more to come. So, cheers to you from Niels from BIBERHUNTER Scale Models.
Hello BIBERHUNTER, my German friend. Yes, it was actually a very hard decision to let go a relatively well-paid job as a mechanical engineer for doing this. But luckily I have a very supportive wife and I don't know, I will try to do it for another year and we will talk then. If I'm happy how it's going, well, the strange thing with those YouTube things is that you never know how good or bad you are doing. For now I'm happy with how it's going. Obviously I was expecting more, but you know, let's try it for another year. I would definitely do it again, in a slightly different way, now that I know a thing or two about those things, but yes, I think it was the right decision. Let's say I gave it a try. It's better than thinking the whole life, why I didn't do this. Thank you and stay well, my friend. Now we have a question from Ian White, CW Modeling, quite a legend on YouTube. You know, I was hoping to put a face and a voice to this guy, but he only wrote me a message. How you started in the hobby and what has been your most satisfying model to build and finish so far? Like most of us, I think I started with 1/72 scale Revell airplanes. The most satisfying model, I must say, the last diorama. The drinks are on the last one. Thank you, Ian. Hope to hear your voice someday. Now the primary workbench. This is my workplace for, let's say, 95% of the time. And the main setup of the table is the same as for the secondary one. Under the table we have the trash bin and some towel dispenser. As you can see, I love DIY solutions. Top deck. Also an IKEA Kallax unit. This is mainly the Diorama building materials storage, cardboard, foam boards and MDF plates. Here is the molding closet, and next to it are the current project shelves, one for boxes and the other for the finished pieces. It is nice to have a place where you can keep your ongoing projects out of the way, while doing other stuff or editing videos. And at the end, there is the corner for the big bottles of mediums. A beautiful fire hazard, so I think that I will move those elsewhere in the future. And this is my central piece of furniture. Here I keep the things that I use all the time. Those small drawers are mostly empty, so they were probably not the best idea so far. Here I keep my working jars and cups. I can also tilt the monitor if I need to work with a bigger backdrop.
Hello my friends, I'm Lucas from Coldemons PL. Diorama Devil asked me for some questions, so here they are. First, what is the most enjoyable part of modeling? Second, where do you find your inspirations? And third, who is your modeling guru? Good luck for you and for your channel. Cheers!
I like this guy. So, first, building houses, roads and stuff like this. Civil engineering modeling stuff. Second, in other people's work. Also your channel. And third, Marian Van Gils for his unusual ideas, and Martin Kovac, also known as Uncle Nightshift, for the techniques. Thank you, Lucas, and hope to see you around. Cheers! And now let's do 2 questions from Steve Enkin from Patreon. How many models do you have in your stash? Well, Steve, for obvious reasons, my stash is not in my workplace. It's based under my sleeping bed. And it counts around 40 plus boxes, but mostly small stuff. And the other question, what does your wife think about your modeling? My wife thinks that I have a glue addiction. Well, my wife, she thinks that me and my modeling buddies are a bunch of small kids playing around, but she supports me in that. And as far for your glue addiction, I am calling you as glue sniffers for a reason, don't you think? Upper drawers, cotton swabs, pins, toothpicks and small containers. Here we have the drilling and sewing gear. Pliers, cutters and scissors. Cutting stuff like hobby blades, spare blades and chisels. Clamping drawer. And the sanding department with sanding sticks, sandpaper and sand sponges. Now the main drawers. Some drawing stuff. The second is a heavy-duty drawer. Then I have a texture storage with all kinds of sand, gravel and texture pastes. And the bottom one is for power tools, like my rotary tools, soldering and so on. Glues, putties, Mr. Surfacers. Metalwork compartment for punch and dies, wires, photo etch tools, metal sheets. Here is the vegetation drawer. And for the end, styrene and wood materials.
I was wondering how long you've been building models and if you ever think you're going to build an aircraft on the channel.
Hello MATTOCK Models. Well, as many of us, I was building airplanes as a kid, but then I stopped for a long period of time. Let's say I started again about 7 years ago. And for your second question, let me answer with this one. I have an airplane in my stash and there is also a diorama in plan, but I don't know when I will be doing it, but I will do it, that's for sure. Thank you very much for your intervention. And now the last question from Steve Enkin. What was the last model you bought? This is the last model I bought in Belgrade on the modeling show, end of December. And this will also be the theme for our next project, so you will see it in the future. And those were the questions. Thank you very much to everyone, Now we will proceed with the workshop tour. Because of the lack of space, I made myself those small softboxes. Inside there are cold white 6500 Kelvin LED bulbs. This kind of light is ideal for filming. And here there is my camera stand. I use an old Nikon D5100 for filming. I bought it for €180 second hand, and for now I'm happy with it. The softboxes provide a nice base light, but I also help myself with a strong spotlight. Now you can see a more familiar scene. But if we zoom out, you will see my arrangement on the desk. Usually an A4 piece of paper is enough. If I have a bigger piece, I take a bigger piece of paper. I had problems filming my last diorama because it was a tall piece. So I installed a backdrop bar. Now I can put a backdrop up and you will not see this ugly wall anymore. I also use the backdrop for taking photos. I take out my phone, do some settings, and here there is. Time for some conclusions here. I decide to try doing this for another year, but this whole plan depends on your support. You can help me with, of course, watching my videos, commenting, liking, sharing my work with your friends. Then, of course, there is my Patreon page, when you can get more of my work for a small amount of money. And all those things combined together will help me in this second year of my journey. Now I will say a big thank you to all of my followers and also to the fellow YouTubers who send me those nice videos. You should check those pages because those guys make some great content. The links will be in the description down below. And until the next one, I will say stay healthy, stay cool, and put some glue on the styrene too. Bye.